That one was even out of my league.
Bang? There are no happy fades today, friends. None. That's it. Wake up, get ready, because it is the Monday growth call, which you know Jen and I love more than anything else we get to do during the week.
It's true. It's true. Very true. But I mean, we're more excited today because every week we keep getting these guests on. And this week we have another phenomenal guest that we're going to be bringing to you. And Brooke, you're going to highlight Melissa and tell us a little bit about her story. And then let's bring her right on. Let's get right to it.
There you are. Hi, Melissa. Thanks for joining us.
Good afternoon, everyone.
All right. So I saw your story and wanted to highlight you from a post you put up. So before we get into that, who are you? What market center are you from? And how long have you been doing this?
All right, well, my name is Melissa Lopashevitz. That's one that no one can say or spell, and that's okay. And I live in Derry. I've been here with my husband and our two girls since 2005, excuse me. But I got into real estate. It'll be 2 years, September of next month, September 9th. September 9th, it'll be 2 years. And I am with KW Metro in Bedford, and I'm actually part of a team. I started Red Carpet Realty, which is a little bit of a different setup, but it's just based on us helping each other out and being there for support, cooperation, and that is our main goal, is to help each other succeed.
I love it. I love it. So September 9th is my birthday, in case any of you want to put that in command and put me on your birthday smart plans. Just putting that out there.
It's my wedding anniversary too.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, awesome. So let's talk a little bit about why you're here. So I saw a post, and I just want to make sure I'm looking at my notes to get it right. You had buyer clients that had lost out on contract after or home after home, and after over a year, you finally got these buyers under contract. Tell us the story a little bit.
So I met them last year at an open house right before COVID hit. If I looked back at my notes, and it was March 12th. I was covering an open house for a colleague in my market center and covered it for both days. We had 30 plus people in and out both days. And Brenda and Jason came through that Sunday afternoon and they weren't represented. We hit it off and I called them immediately when I got home just to check in, see if they needed anything. And we went to Applebee's that afternoon. I called and they said, yes, let's meet. We just connected and they immediately signed. And we had been looking ever since.
So what was happening every time you guys would put in an offer? What would happen? Was it because of financing? What was going on?
So with them, they were FHA. So that was the first hurdle, especially in this market, like everyone knows. And the other issue we were running into is they weren't willing, first of all, to waive inspections, which, and I told them upfront, I said, it's an option, but I don't advise you to. You have the option, but I want you to be fully knowing what you're getting into, because I think that's important. And in the long run, it's about what's best for them. It's not just about closing a deal. I would never want to get them into a home that is full of problems and then have just horrible situations happen. So that, go ahead.
So what was the emotion that was happening? I mean, obviously as agents and who have lived through the last year putting offers in,
Mhm.
what was the emotional relationship like with these clients?
You know, it was difficult. I'm not going to lie. It was hard to see them get so excited, even though we prepare clients going in to not get that attachment, but it happens. So they would go in, get all excited, and I would prepare them and saying, listen, this is multiple offer situation. This is the reality of things. But every time they'd get a no, they would get knocked down. And as many times as we can say to somebody, okay, it's about timing. It just wasn't the right one. Let's keep going. After we put in, and I looked through my notes, this was offer number 8. After 7 offers in about a year and a half, they had given up multiple times. And as much as I try not to get emotionally attached to my clients, I do, because I care and I want what's best with them.
Yeah.
I just, the bottom line is I care about my clients and they're what matter at the end of the day.
These are people that are going to be friends for life with you after spending that much time with you
Yes.
through a pandemic. These are people who go beyond the client list, right?
Yes. We've shared ups and downs. And actually that first meeting, within a few days, I got a call from her saying, I think I have COVID. You need to quarantine.
Wow.
So that's what I did. I locked down and thank God she ended up not having COVID, but we went through the whole thing together. We kept each other, we were each other's support. And then eventually I actually ended up getting COVID and through other circumstances, but throughout the process, I just kept saying to them, I'm not going anywhere. I am here for as long as this takes. I am not leaving. Once this is over, you're stuck with me.
Whether you like it or not.
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm with
And
you.
yeah, and at one point, his brother actually was attacked in Georgia with a machete on a bus. So at that point, they had missed out on offers and were ready to just say, forget this, we're moving, I'm leaving. I need to be near family. This was the height of COVID. So I said, if that's what you want, that's okay. And I gave them a name of an agent down there. Because again, this isn't about me. This isn't about a commission. This isn't about real estate. They're people and they deserve, it's what's best for them.
So what made this last offer stick, you think? Like, what was the glue on this offer?
And so on this offer, they've been working with RMS throughout this entire time. And so I reached out to RMS yet again saying, listen, we're going to be putting in an offer. What help me do something different here? Because what we've been doing isn't working. Even though in a normal market, their offer most likely would have been accepted a long time ago. They were good offers, but this time we were able to go conventional instead of FHA. And in doing so, we were able to come up with appraisal gap coverage.
Nice.
And they didn't even have to waive inspection. I was able to keep that in for them because I knew how important that was to them. And on top of, to make it even sweeter, there were 15 other offers in this house, ended up checking all the boxes for them. I call it what you want, but it had the pool they wanted. They had the location. We had a home inspection, and it was the cleanest home inspection I've ever seen. We were in and out within an hour.
You deserve it at this point. Like you've earned it.
Yeah. Yeah. And being able to call them, well, when the agent called me, I had to remind myself, okay, you're talking to another agent. You need to pull it together and not let all the emotion out. But she could hear it. And so when I was finally able to call my client, she just sobbed. And I sobbed with her because it has been such a long road. And they deserve this. They're good people and they deserve to have a home.
This is amazing. This is why when I saw that post, I was like, this is the stuff we need to highlight on the growth call. Jen, before I go into one of my last questions, do you have any questions for Melissa before?
Yeah, I mean, this whole thing, like, there's so many agents on here that are relating to your story. I see in the chat section, Nancy just closed on a property and they had 7 offers in. I think Vivian had 11. So you know what, a lot of us on this call are feeling that kind of like we're working so hard for our buyers. And you know what, you put it into great perspective of it really is about them and their lives. And you know what, it's tough. Like it is tough out there. So one, thank you for everything you did with your clients. And I just want to ask you a quick question. The appraisal gap coverage, tell us a little bit about how that was the advantage here. Tell us a little more about it.
Okay, because so on many of the none of the offers before this, those numbers just didn't work. And time after time, I had heard from the list agents that your offer was great, but somebody else was able to offer that coverage. And not everyone can. And we were giving the best offers we could. And for them, up until now, the numbers weren't working. And when the list agent called to say offer was accepted, she said there are 2 things that got you guys ahead. It wasn't price, number 1. We were not the highest offer. Number 1, it was the fact that they could come up with any sort of a gap coverage. And number 2, it was a lender. She saw who the lender was, recognized the name, and said, nope, hands down.
Wow.
Hands down.
Yeah. Wow.
I have chills. I have like little goosebumps about this story. Same goosebumps I had when I read it last week. So then if you had to pick 1 or 2 things out of this whole process with these specific clients that have changed you or your business, what would they be? And what could you tell our growth crowd here about your ahas?
As crazy as it sounds, and I know there's business and personal, and we're not supposed to intermingle, allowing myself to feel their emotions, but also keep them in check, but focusing on them and really honing into what they needed when they needed it. If it was time to step back, it's time to step back, take a breath, regroup, but just focusing on what they needed, but at the same time, never giving up. Just keep going.
Grit.
Just keep going.
Yeah, so what I heard, Melissa, was you were emotional or you had emotions with them, but when it came to the transaction, you made you took the emotion out of it to make sure that you had their best foot forward transactionally. Is that what I heard?
Yes, and I used that emotion instead of letting it drive my actions. I used it as fuel. I used it to keep going.
Love that. Love it.
Wow.
Thank
Anything else you want to add about just an aha or how this has changed your business or how you're going to do business going forward?
I don't know if it's really changed the way I do things. It's just reaffirmed the way I was thinking about things, because I have heard from just different people, you need to take emotion out of it. But to me, emotion is what makes us human. And emotion is what allows us to connect with our clients.
Wow.
So if it's okay to have emotions with them.
I am coming from your market center as well. I am super proud of you and watching you grow in the 2 years you have been here. And then Jen just added, in case you didn't see this in the chat, speak to your mortgage lender. This is where having those strong relationships, they matter. They matter so much. So Melissa, thank you so much for coming on the call with us today. Now, is this your first growth call with us?
I have bopped on and off a little bit, but yes, this is the first one that I've really immersed myself in. So
Well, I can't wait to see you on future ones.
I will be here.
Hint. And please stay with us as Jen and I go over all the materials we give you guys now for the growth call. So thank you again for coming on with us.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Melissa.
Thank you.
All right.
Guys, now we're getting right into the content, right, Brooke?
We're getting there. Here it comes.
All right, here it comes. So I'm going to let you go right ahead. I don't have it printed out in front of me, so I'm going to let you take it away here, Brooke.
Awesome. So we've got a Sphere of Influence email this week, and we've got some social media graphics for you. And you're going to start seeing a theme because it is fall cleanup, guys, right? This is where we're going to dig into our database and make it a data bank. Because over the summer, over the spring, you've had this craziness and we're just dumping people in. Now it's time to clean it up. So here's your script based off of one of my favorite books called Sphere of Influence by Brian Eisenhower. It's right here in the form, so you can grab it. And basically, I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's a little large, but it's blah, blah, blah with KW. I'm doing my end of summer cleanup and notice that I'm missing some information from you. And you're even saying, listen, I know I need to do a better job of staying in touch, and I'd love to send you some things during the year from time to time. Would that be okay with you? Great. So you could turn this into email, text, two-way messaging on social media. You take this and run with it in the way you want to. If you're Facebook friends with people, but they're not in your data bank, this is the time to do that and get the information that's the cleanest. Because guys, we're going to be focusing so hard on email lists and getting them clean starting in September and going back to the basics that you're going to want this info so that when we send the emails, you've got big beefy lists.
And so Brooke, if they're using Command, who would they talk to in their market center that could help them potentially with this?
Absolutely. Reach out to your market center tech trainers. If you don't have one in your office, talk to your leadership and see who on the ALC or who has that leadership tech position. And then also Thursdays back in September, we're starting up our tech series with Back to School, Back to Business. And every Thursday at 1 o'clock, we'll be here live with me. And we're going to start going over all these things as well.
Awesome.
All right. Can you see this? Do you want to read it?
Sure. Yep. So we're keeping on with our themes here, and we have our real estate vocabulary, which is private mortgage insurance, otherwise known as PMI. And this is for your post on Wednesday or today or Tuesday. It really doesn't matter. We just recommend Wednesday. It says, did you know your mortgage doesn't necessarily have to include PMI? There are several options you have when purchasing and refinancing to nix the additional PMI payment on your monthly payments. Ask me how, bet on KWNE and hashtag real estate.
And I love these because one of the agents I spoke to at one of the classes last week said, we speak KW, we speak real estate, but oftentimes our clients won't tell us that they don't understand the words we're talking about. So it's so wonderful.
Brooke, did I tell you the time so I'm in Newport, I'm in Rhode Island, and I went downtown Newport, and I did you remember the Jay Leno show where he would go Jay on the streets or whatever it was called, Leno on the streets, I don't know. I did that down in Newport, and one of the questions I asked was, what is a FSBO? What is a FSBO? Do you know the answers I got? And I'm gonna have to share that video with you guys because it's really hysterical. Anybody have a guess on what people might thought a FSBO was? You can unmute. Anyone? All right, I'll tell you. One person thought it was a fizzy bow that you shoot. A fizzy bow that you shoot. Somebody said that it was a tablet that you put into a drink. Someone else said it was a type of beer. And then we got a whole bunch of other responses. So the point of it is when we talk FSBO or PMI, our clientele or a lot of the people out in the world don't know what those acronyms are. So make sure you explain PMI, FSBO. Anybody know what a FSBO is on this call, by the way?
For sale by owner.
There you go.
Who said that? Who said that?
Bryce.
Chris? Digital.
Bryce.
Oh, Bryce, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
High five. We are giving you high five. Where's my camera? There you go. Knuckles. You got it.
Thank you for
There you go.
participating. All right. So then we have our Thursday, the 19th, this or that Thursdays, which we really love. And Erica came up with a fun one this month of s'mores or snow cones. So let me see it in the chat. How many of you pick s'mores or snow cones? And you got to pick one or the other.
Yeah, you can't pick both on this one. You can't combine them. That's gross. Like
Yeah.
that's gross on this one. It's not cream based. Like
I'm going s'mores. I'm going
Me too.
s'mores.
me too, but with, you know what I do with mine? I use Reese's peanut butter cups instead of Hershey's because I'm that girl.
All right. You 10 plus it. Frank, you are our snow cones person. So you're one out of probably 70. Just saying. I'll make you a snow cone, okay?
Okay.
All right. Mary says snow cone too, so you're not alone. Lisa
So-
too. All right.
Guys, one thing on this real quick before we hop on to the next thing. This is so important because we're showing off our personality, but make sure you're checking in after you post these to see what people are saying. And if they say things like s'mores, be like, how do you jazz yours up? Are you plain or are you weird like our RTT? Snow cones, great. What's your favorite flavor? I tried something called Tiger's Blood at the Kona truck this weekend, and it was strawberry coconut. Mind-blowing delicious, but I didn't like the name. So make sure that when you are doing this, it's for engagement. Do the back and forth, bring those notes back to command. And this is how you go from database to data bank.
Absolutely. And just to go back on the s'mores for a minute, did you know that they made marshmallows with the chocolate inside the marshmallow now? Did you know that?
Not a fan.
You've tried it?
Yeah, they're
I
weird.
just found out about them.
No, they're weird. They're weird.
Okay. All
But
right.
I like-
Thanks
I
for
mean-
deflating that for me. All right.
You might like it, but it's, let me tell you, if you've ever had a Reese's peanut butter cup, you are never going back to a regular s'more unless you're allergic to peanut butter. So
All right. All right. Great.
Those peanut butter marshmallows, is it like are they like, is it like real chocolate or is it like
Who is that?
that's Corrine.
Karina,
What's
sorry.
going on?
She is.
Sorry, here I am. Real chocolate or is it like Nutella?
Oh, I think it's like real chocolate in the marshmallows, like a little piece of chocolate so that when it melts, it's all contained and it's a little less messy, but
Okay,
they're
I gotcha.
delicious.
Okay,
They're
I
Good
delicious.
gotcha.
Good question though. And you know
Yeah.
what? You might be able to answer that in your post that you send. And maybe if you want to do a little s'mores party, right?
Or poll or a pop by. How cute would it be if
Pop-by.
you were to pop by with a mini s'mores kit all pre-packaged, ready for them to go?
Or you know what? You could do it digitally as well too. You could hold a s'mores party digitally. So get creative with these things, guys, and have fun with it. Bryce, I see you laughing at me. It's okay. It's okay. They're silly things, but let me tell you something. People right now, they want that connection and engagement and they don't
Yeah.
know how or where to get it from. So if the real estate agent is the place to get it from, why not? That's your opportunity to be your local professional by providing fun and engagement and stuff. So one of
Yeah,
my agents, I'm
smiling,
not
I
sure
like
if
the
she's
idea.
on. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bryce. What was that?
I'm smiling because I like the idea.
Oh,
Like,
good,
yeah.
good. One of my agents here in the Newport, Rhode Island area, she did a Zoom rock painting party. So she gave all of her clients that registered online, she does a lot on social media, and everybody who registered online, she dropped off a rock painting kit. And then she had a party, which she then broadcasted live to Facebook. So even if you weren't on the party, you could see them doing it. And they all made these little like cool rocks that they're able to give as gifts or whatever. It was a really great idea. So
That's
a whole bunch of
amazing.
things.
Fun
Yeah.
things to just be involved, stay top of mind, and their professional of choice in the hyper local market.
Yes,
So-
and Brooke, are you able to drop this into the chat section?
Yep. So guys, if you are, I'm going to put the link momentarily. Let me grab it from over here. I just exited out of it because you asked me after the fact. But if you are not on the Growth Call Facebook group, I'm going to post that link again as well, because there's always fun things on the Growth Call Facebook. There's also extra tidbits from me. I post videos here and there on how to do certain things. So if you are not in our Facebook group, make sure you grab that. And then let me put up the link for.
Are we doing a giveaway today?
I would like to do a giveaway. Do you want to do a giveaway?
Oh, we do one every week. Why wouldn't we do one today?
I mean, I love giving away all this stuff.
All right. So I just need a minute, but what we are giving away today is a digital mega camp ticket. Mega camp is happening next week, guys. You're not going to want to miss it. And even if you have a ticket, we will reimburse you for your ticket. So let's pull our name here.
All right. Got the list.
I got the list. I got to pick the number.
Picking.
The number is 409 and 409 is Darwin Almonte.
Woo!
Is that our Darwin?
Woo!
Darwin, are you here?
Thank you so much.
Where are
Yes,
you?
I
Where
am.
are you? Let's get
Hello?
you on. Are
I
you
am.
on camera?
I am. I'm on my way back from the Cranston office. I was doing that continuing education class this morning. I'm so pumped. Thank you. Woo-hoo!
Darwin, I know that you're in our market center here in Rhode Island. How often have you come on these calls?
I've been on about 5 calls. So I just try to get on them as much as I can, and definitely taking advantage of the coaching with Sam Alpern as well. Everyone get on those calls. He's great.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on your mega camp ticket. Do you have one already? Are we reimbursing you or giving you one?
You are giving me one. This is
Awesome.
great. I'm so thankful.
All right. Well, congratulations. I was able to see Darwin this weekend at an open house. So he is doing it. He's getting out there and he is coming on these calls. So we appreciate you and everybody else on these calls. So we will see you next Monday. Make sure you find our content here in the chat section. We will also put it on our Facebook group page if you're not a part of it. I believe you just right? You just put that in the chat. Brooke?
I did. And you know what I love? Whenever I post that, seeing my little number dings come up, because we just got 13 people added. So guys, make sure you hit that join group and you can see all the weird things I do.
Yeah, by the way, you could go back and get all of the content. We've been doing this since March 1st, guys. Corinna, you've been on with us, right? Is it Corinna or Karina? I say it wrong every time. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay, because if you phonetically spell it, you pronounce it, that's how it is. But it's Karina.
Karina.
Yeah, we've been on since March.
March 1st.
Yeah,
March 1st.
yeah, March 1st. Yeah.
You know, and you've been one of our first and loyal agents coming on with us. So thank you, along with everybody
Welcome.
else here who's following along with us. We have a lot of fun with you guys. And if you ever have any suggestions, thoughts, or ideas, or even like maybe some things we could be doing better, we are open to hearing. So make sure you send an email out to me or Brooke, and I'm going to put my email in the chat.
Same.
Brooke, you're going to do yours. Happy to hear it, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday. Thank you. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you soon at a market center.
Near you.
Coming live to a market center near you. Mega Brooke. Mega.
Hi. Oh, who's the baby?
I'm trying
Oh,
to
there's a
close it.
baby? Oh, that's Bree.
Yeah, mine.
What is his name? Is it a her?
His name is Val. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
He's a hooligan.
So cute.
Bye, guys. Have a great day. It's so nice to see you all.
Bye. Congrats, Darwin.